Good evening, everybody. It's Peps, it's J-Dog. 5 rounds left in the AFL season. Round 19 is about to kick off, and you're here, tipped out style, to get your winners for the week's upcoming games. Before we kick into it, for everybody out there in Australia and throughout the world going through this challenging time, which is COVID-19, hopefully over the next 20 or so minutes, the two of us can just put a bit of a smile on your face and you can have a little bit of a laugh and just separate from everything that's been going on. But I can't do the show, Chris Pepper, without my superstar co-host. You know him as the J-Dog. It's Jamie Wallis, my friend, and your team, Port Adelaide, is kicking it all off tomorrow night at 7:10 p.m. at Marvel Stadium against Collingwood.
Oh.
Tell us all about it, big boy.
Peps, I can't wait to watch this game at Marvel Stadium live. This is going to be the theme for the next 6 rounds or the next few rounds of AFL.
I know.
Peps, Friday night, Big T-Bogue, 300 games. What a servant. Remember when Geelong sent across all the mob squad?
Yep. Who went across? There was Chris Scott, Selwood,
Ablett,
Neville Bruns. I think they sent Mickey Turner.
Hey.
Bobby Davis went over there too.
Our favourite was there. No cashier.
Chopper
went over there. Everyone over there, Peps.
Everyone went over there. And guess what? He went, thanks for the dinner. Thanks for the gifts. But no, thank you very much.
No. So tomorrow night, Trevor Spoke's 300 game kicking off Friday night at 7:10 p.m. Big fan of the early Friday nights, Peps. I'm a huge fan of the early Friday nights.
Well, like I said, I believe that's the time it's going to be kicking off at next year. Either 7:10 or 7:20, just to get the games, because it finishes way too late on a Friday night. So that's going to be absolutely mint. I reckon 7:10, you'll be done by about 9:30.
Yeah, 10, 20 go to bed after the game wrap up. Peps, beautiful. Are you a religious man?
I'm a very religious man.
Oh, because we've got it. We've got the Holy Trinity in for Port Adelaide. We've got Connor Rosie, Xavier Dersma, and Zach Butters returning. So cannot come at a better time for Port Adelaide. This team is going to be not the worst team. That was last week we put on the field, but this team is going to be all right. Coming out, because of the Holy Trinity, we've got Jared Leonard, Jed McEntee, Martin Frederick, and Sam Mays. All have been omitted.
Some big names have been axed out of the team, Jamie.
Oh, yeah, huge. Watch this space.
Heard of them.
Watch this space. Travis Boak playing 300 game. I've said that enough there.
I found out just about Boakey. He's placed in the top 10 14 out of 15 seasons at Port Adelaide.
Yeah. Jet.
Gun. Superstar. Love the Boakster.
Speaking of legends, on Dermy serves, I watched the Wizards game when he kicked 9-1 after half a game.
Against Collingwood. Queen's birthday.
2000.
Took the piss. I
watched it today, and in my mind thinking, am I going to see Peps in the crowd here with the old Zurich jumper?
No, Zurich. But back in those days, it would have been, I think we would have been sponsored by ASICS, maybe Tui's. I think we might have been sponsored by Tui's Blue then.
It was pretty good. Anyway, coming in for the other Magpies is
fake ones.
Anton Towill, Finlay McRae, and Jack Ginnivan. Out goes Callum Brown, who's got injured. Chris Main has got his injury. Josh Thomas injured, and Will Hoskin-Elliott as injured. So coming in there, I mean, this is going to happen now for Collingwood for the next few rounds. Jack Ginnivan is making his debut, and Anton Towill is making his debut as well.
So I look at this, Jamie, and it simply comes down to this. When you said the Holy Trinity coming in, Rosie, Dersma, Butters, you had me going there, because the only other Trinity that I know that went into Port Adelaide would have been Roden, Trengrove, Watts. And I thought they would have been coming back. You're going to be way too strong. I'm sorry, Collingwood are poo, and you're going to be way too strong. And there could be just as many people watching this game live as there's going to be around about halfway through the fourth quarter. We know Collingwood support. They'll get pumped. This is going to be at least a 6-goaler.
Peps, you kicked it off exactly on the margin last week. So you're a Friday night specialist.
I'm a Thursday night specialist, traveling in the Friday nights. And I was pretty good with the margin last week, everybody.
Did get it 100% on. Me, 100%. Peps, because it is my team, conservative, 15 points, Port Adelaide win.
Conservative. Oh, you just dominate them all across the ground, Jamie. More disposals, A lot more inside 50s. Your
50s,
disposal efficiency is pretty much on par.
Yeah.
It's your efficiency inside 50. I can just see it. You know what? Now,
Midfield
going by
clearances, all that
my
stuff.
rule of thumb, are you playing a top 8 team?
No.
Dixon's going to kick 8.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. All right. I'll take this one, mate. We're moving into the Saturday games now. Carlton versus North Melbourne, 1:45 p.m. at Marvell Stadium. Cripps is in. Lucky Fogarty is the medical sub is out. Matthew Owies has been managed. He's been playing some good footy down forward there, just doing his role, which is good.
Peps.
They missed this bloke last week, North, Ben Cunnington. If he was there, I reckon they might have snuck it across the line. That's how well they played. And Jed Anderson as well.
Oh.
This guy's got a big future, Charlie Lazaro. Now, you're having a week off, mate. Don't worry about it. Jack Marnie's injured. Robbie Tarrant's injured. And Ed Curnow playing his 200th game. It's all happening at the Blues. We can smell what they're cooking. They can taste finals
Don't
at the
buy
moment. And North can sniff another win. Sam Walsh, absolute gun, absolute jet. You name it. He is a beast. And I think Carlton will get across the line, but I'm only putting it maybe 3 goals max because I've really enjoyed what North have brought quite recently. They've got a nice little sexy midfield.
Yes.
Their back line is just doing what it needs to do. It's forward line with Zerha and Larky up the front. They're going a lot better than a couple of clubs sitting just above them. So I don't think this will be a lot closer than we think. But who needs to win more? Say Carlton, and I'm going with the Blues.
Okay, I'm going to go North. This is the game that I put up as my 1 week at a time game from Tuesday night. I'm going to go North because I just think they're more consistent. Carlton are flaky.
What would happen if Carlton lost to North? Because the Teague train has suddenly got a little bit of stability over the last few weeks. What would happen if they lost to North? Because North are not as bad as they were for the first 6 weeks of the season.
I think it's this is the game that has what do we say usually, Peps? It's got the most on the line. And this is the game. Because for North, it's nothing. They lose to Carlton. They go, okay, they lost to Carlton. It's dented a little bit. But if Carlton lose to North, huge.
It's an 8-point game. It's as simple as that. It's not just worth 4, it's worth 8 because both teams have a lot. Because the other side of the things is if North win this and Hawthorn lose, they jump them on the ladder.
Yep.
So do North want to tank? We don't use that word tanking.
And Carlton still have got a small chance of making the finals.
I think the term you're looking for there, Jamie, is mathematically...
Mathematic possibility.
Mathematic possibility. Exactly right. All right. So I'm going the Blues, you're going the
North.
The football will be the winner.
All right. Next one for me. Brisbane Lions versus the Suns. It's the battle of the whatever. Bridge.
It's the
bridge.
Clash.
No, it's the
Q Clash.
Q Clash, sorry. All right. Gabba, 310. That's how we love it. Coming in for the Brisbane Lions, we've got Callum Archie, Jared Berry. Going out is Jackson Pryor, Keaton Coleman, and Thomas Berry is the Medi sub. Hugh McCluggage is playing his 100th game.
What a name, McCluggage.
I know.
It's got Bruce written all over it, hasn't it? McCluggage.
And Pep's coming in. Reinforcements. Bit of help up there in the up in the old GC. Olive Markov's coming in. Huge impact.
Mustache in the AFL, that bloke.
Yep. Going out, that was Brandon Ellis and Nick Holman. But Alex Sexton is playing his 150th game. 150!
I didn't. I saw that and went, hold on a second. He hasn't been playing that long, has he? Oh, good on him. I actually got a lot of time for this bloke. Not because he wears the number 6. But I don't mind him as a forward. I reckon if he was in a better team, a more structured up front team, he could possibly be a 40-goal-a-year kicker.
If you said to me Alex Sexton has played 150 games, I would have said 60 max, 70 max.
No, I would have gone 100, but not much more than that. I reckon you would have gone a bit of bullshit, Peps. That's bullshit.
Far out. We're old.
We are old. But the thing is, the form line between these two teams, there's not much between them.
No, there's not.
Brisbane have lost their last 2.
Yeah, the last 5 has been horrible for Brisbane.
But if you have a look at Gold Coast, they got pumped by your mob.
Yeah.
Just got beaten by North. They beat Richmond. They won by a point against GWS and went down by 11 last week, even after having more scoring shots. So they haven't been, their last month of footy's been pretty Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
That saying, though, with Brandon Ellis out, who's been a catalyst in their midfield, and Nick Holman, who's been so good up forward.
Yeah.
I know Markov brings something back in.
Mm.
It's going to be a tough one. My heart says Suns, but the head says Brisbane. So I'm just going to have to go with Brisbane because they've got a lot more to play for because they lose this and they could slip out of touch for a top 4 spot.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm praying. So for me, Gold Coast Suns by less than 10.
We could go nude if Gold Coast wins. It'll be the most amount of games Gold Coast have won in the second half of the season in their entire lives.
It'd almost lock in the 4 after this if they lose that game.
We hope so. All right, my friend.
All right, West Coast versus St Kilda. So this one here is on 4:35. Peps, whilst I'm here, quick gripe. 5 games on Saturday. Not a fan of this.
You have done during the 80s, mate, when there was 6 games on a Saturday at the same time.
I know, but we've got Thursday. Why we? Anyway, I'll keep going with the
game.
You
know why? It's simply this, Jamie. There's not enough states to play the football games at the moment. There's not enough states.
All right,
Gold Coast. That's it. Sydney,
West Coast Eagles, St Kilda. I'll stick to the script. I'll just read the teams out. Coming in for West Coast, we've got Jake Waterman, Josh Kelly, Mark Hutchings, and Xavier O'Neill. Going out is Bailey J. Williams, Jack Petrocelli. Old Petrol's been torched. What's it called? Other way out? Put out.
Dumped.
Jackson Nelson, Medisab, Luke Edwards has injured, and Luke Shuey is also injured after they wrought. Hey, Peps, he's injured. They didn't wrought the rules.
Oh, yeah, right.
And Jeremy McGovern, 150. If you told me Jeremy McGovern...
He played 150. I reckon he'd be close to 200. He's the other way. Oh, God, who can keep up? Do they count reserves games or under-18s games before the main game as another one? I know they do that local footy.
God. In for St Kilda is Nick Caulfield, Oscar Claverino, and Paul Hunter. Out goes Daniel McKenzie. Jack Bartel has been omitted. Rowan Marshall is managed. Bullshit, COVID. And Tom Highmore is also injured. So Marshall, we obviously know with Marshall from Tuesday night that he's been kept home because he was in a COVID Tier 1 hotspot.
Well, if you think about this, early on the season, St Kilda did a number on West Coast.
They did.
Now, it's been played at Optus Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Wet toast are literally that at the moment. They have been putrid for most of the year.
Yep.
So my theory, they're playing at home, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
They should win.
But they'll lose.
They'll probably lose. There'd be nothing better, would there? Is there going to be a crowd there?
Yeah, West Coast there is.
Is there? All right, so they're going to get a crowd that's going to be a bit tough.
Actually, I don't know now with the whole COVID hubs. And
I don't think that they are. So that means there's not going to be 50,000 ferals going, oh. And so I reckon, do you reckon the Saints are a chance? But see, once again, it's another 8-point game. One to make finals and one to, actually both of them to make finals. Wet Toast, they can't afford to drop this.
No.
I'm trying something different here. I reckon Shit Kilda might get this.
Okay.
I have no rhyme or reason why, but there has to be an upset somewhere along this train wreck of a season. And that might be it. They've got no reason to win at St Kilda, and that's probably why they will.
Both hurts me because how funny if both I want to draw.
Oh! With a West Coast guy to miss it from 20 metres in front.
Yeah, I'd settle for that. I'd settle for that.
You know what I settle for? 1v2. This is the game of the round, peeps.
This is it.
Melbourne versus the Western Bulldogs. Swevin, 25 p.m.
What's that time again, Peps?
Swevin, 25 p.m. at the MCG. Everybody loves the G. Coming in for the D's, James Harms after an ear infection the week before. Out is Aaron Vandenberg. He was a little bit stiff. He wasn't Melbourne's worst last week, but literally everybody was. That's how average the game was. Tom Sparrow, the medical sub, is out. He's stiff. He's stiff.
Clubs are circling.
No, he's not going anywhere. They can circle all they like. Now, doggies have gone tall. Josh Shackey, Mitch Hannon, and Tom Liberatore throwing the big guns at the Ds they are. Out is Anthony Scott. Hayden Crozier. Hayden's been out. Josh Dunkley managed COVID. And Lachlan McNeil omitted. Well, earlier on in the season, my friend, it was the Ds to get over. A massive 6-goal first quarter literally blew the game out of proportions. If you remember that one, James Harms kicked a goal in the first 20-something seconds of the game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be anything like that this week. The Ds have to play a hell of a lot better than they did last week. And the doggies, they just got across the line against the Suns.
They did.
The doggies know that Melbourne have a back line, the number one defence in the league at the moment. And they know that they don't want to have to play them a couple of guys one out. So the way I'm looking at this is the doggies have gone, okay, if we can't match them in the air down back, we have to make Melbourne accountable. I think that's sort of what they've gone to do here. Josh Shackey, a taller one in. Mitch Hannon, probably mid-180s. And Tom Liberatore would get tagged by Harms. So that one gets nullified. So they're going to have Norton, Hannon, Bruce, Jamara, and Shackey potentially all down there at the same time. That's way too tall. So it's either going to work, but if that ball goes to ground, they're cooked. They've got no way of keeping it in.
But Jamara's the future.
Get back in your DeLorean, mate, because you're going back to the future. Now, D's midfield has to be a little bit more accountable. They need to be working harder. If they turn up like they did against Port Adelaide a couple of weeks ago, which we had a chat about, I think we're going to be very, very confident of winning this. But I'm going with the doggies.
You turncoat.
It's as simple as this, Jamie. Every time I've picked the opposite team in one of these games, Melbourne have won. And so I'm going with them as well too. The forward 50 work, it still needs to be worked out. It's not solidified yet. No. This is the week for Ben Brown. He's got better over the last couple of weeks. Bit of a hiccup. It was a bit wet last week. Hopefully it stays clear and he could be in for a massive game. Petrarca, Oliver, Viney back makes it difficult. Going against Bont, Smith.
Yeah.
My goodness. It's if you're not salivating right now.
Peps, for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
I can just see Tim English with his big spindly arms just plucking them over whoever, whoever.
Oh, no.
It's going to be hilarious.
Because Gorn will go back. Gorn will go back. So it'll nullify it. I'm just going to say you can go in. They're going in tall. It's a risk that they're willing to take.
Yeah, they're confident though. They've got the small forwards around them. They're confident. Hey, no Wallis though. They should have played Wallis. They should have played Wallis.
No, they shouldn't have. They should not have played Wallis. All right. So I reckon the doggies may be in a close one, but my heart says go D's as well.
Yep. For me, Melbourne by 30 points.
So J-Dog, why are the doggies going to win then?
Peps, it's very simple. Like you did to me, it's a graph. Are the Bulldogs a top 4 team?
Yes, they are.
Oh, well, Melbourne's going to win by 30 points then.
Okay. If that's the theory we're going by, I'm happy to hear it. All right. So you're going the doggies. So you're going the D's. I'm going the D's by heart. Doggies just because I'm going with the way I tip.
Yeah.
Don't ask me, listeners. Don't ask me. All right. Let's move into the next game of the weekend.
Sure.
Ooh, it is. Are we into Sunday? Are we into Sunday? Are we still Saturday?
We're still Saturday.
We're still Saturday.
We're still here.
All righty. We can whip through this one quite quickly. Adelaide versus the Hawks. The bottom of the ladder match. 2 birds. Not flying high at the moment. Billy Frampton and Tom Doedee in for the Crows. What about Doedee's courage a couple of weeks ago when he ran into the pack and got absolutely cleaned up?
Mm-hmm.
Then he took a week off. Dave McKay omitted. James Rowe managed. Nick Murray injured. Moving into the Hawks. Blake Hardwick, the Chad. Wingard is in. Drax Scrimshaw is in. Out. Damon Graves, or Greaves, depending on which side of the country you're from. Emerson Jecker, both omitted. Jai Newcomb is the Medi sub. Sean Burgoyne has been managed. That's code word for osteoporosis. I'm going with Adelaide at home. Don't ask me why. Texas back in there. They play better it's at Marvel. Nah, Hawks can't do what they did 2 weeks in a row. I'm going with the Crows in a major upset by 4 points.
All right. I'm gonna go. I can't tip that team. I'm gonna have to go Hawks.
That's okay.
I'm not happy because that's where Chad Wingard lives now. But I'm gonna go the Hawks. Hawks by 13 points.
Oh, nice pick. All right. Now we're in the Sunday. Now we were talking about top 8 games. This is a top 8 game. One team potentially to lock in top 4. The other one to potentially lock in a final spot. They coughed a ripper up last week. We're talking about the Swans of Sydney versus the Dockers of Fremantle.
We are.
Hayden McLean is in. Lewis Taylor is in. Logan McDonald, Sam Reid, all in for the Swans. Joel Armate is out, omitted. Connor Blakey, Hayden Young, Lloyd Meek, Matt Taberner, Mitch Crowden, Nathan O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll is in. Blake Akers, omitted. Rory Lobb, injured. Sam Swatowski, injured. New is Nathan O'Driscoll. And no Andy Mundy playing game number 350. Takes a special type of player to get to over 350 games. Trust me, Jamie, you're talking to one. And they're going to get up for this game. The Dockers are going to get up for this one. This is being played at Metricon Stadium up there in the Gold Coast. And just because it's no Andy Mundy's 350th, they're going to do it for the local tack. And good on him. He's got another contract for another season next year, which is sensational. He's playing career best form. Should be All-Australian this year. And I'm going with the Dockers to just throw a bit of a spanner into the final 8 engine.
Okay.
As we putter along towards the finals. Yeah, I just think there's something in there. Fremantle will not do what they do 2 weeks ago. And Sean Darcy is just, if he's not pushing for the All-Australian ruckman, because Gorney's been a little bit quiet, I still think he'll pinch it. But definitely as a backup spot, Sean Darcy has been close to the second best ruckman and the most improved ruckman in the AFL this year.
Well, Peps, like you probably picked up with a theme in my tipping tonight, I'm backing the Stephen Bradbury tactic. I am going to go for Fremantle because I am wanting them to beat Sydney, because the less people around me at the finish line or around Port Adelaide come the end of the season, the better we'll make the top 4. So I'm taking the odd Stephen Bradbury tactic. I'm just waiting to make sure that all of our competitors take themselves out. So there's a nice run for Port Adelaide into the top 4. So for me, I'm going Dockers.
Go Dockers!
Go Dockers.
Go Swans. If you're a Swan supporter, we love your mob too.
No, we don't.
Just not this week. Make it a bit more interesting. All righty.
All right. Big game.
Go for it, mate. One each. Big game. Huge game. 3rd versus 9th.
I know.
The grand final rematch.
All right. We've got Geelong versus Richmond, 3:20 at the MCG. Don't know why we're playing there for. We don't need to play in Melbourne.
Commercial agreements.
That's right. Sorry, I forgot about that. Coming in for Geelong, Gary Rowan, Lockie Henderson, and Zach Guthrie. Fair ins, Peps.
Hide your wives.
Peps, if I told you that this person had played 250 games, Sean Higgins is playing his 250th, and Ezra Ratugolea is playing his 50th game.
Sean Higgins looks about 15.
I know.
Good looking rooster.
I want what he's drinking. Coming in for Richmond, Callum Coleman-Jones, Hugo Ralph-Smith, Josh Caddy, Riley Collier, Dawkins, and Shane Edwards out in the biggest shake-up to footy since last week. Dustin Martin and Camden McIntosh are both injured for this game here, and no milestones on the Richmond side of things there, Peps.
Oh, so I've got a question for you, a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to call it. Geelong have got this easy. No Dusty, no Richmond. He's the catalyst. Okay. I'm sorry. And they've gone too surname heavy. They've gone double hyphens. Yeah. No other team I know have brought in double hyphens in the one game. That's too many hyphens for one team.
And Ralph Smith could almost be counted
as
a double name. Ralph Smith could be,
yes. When a guy's got 2 first names as his last name, plus double hyphens, plus Josh Caddy, yeah, no good. I think Geelong are going to do this quite easily, I must reckon. And where is it? It's a Sunday daytime.
Yep.
3:20, perfect football conditions. Geelong are going to get suited for the MCG, and they'll do this by, I reckon, 7 goals.
And is this Good Night Tigers?
Oh, it was Good Night Tigers was last week.
Okay.
This is going to make it even worse for them. But you know what? They've had a good run.
3-4, not bad.
We've had 1 in 64.
Hey Peps, you had a good run in the thousands, in the early thousands.
Oh, the early thousands, yeah. Still haven't won one. Alrighty, now here we go. I don't mind this game. I reckon this is going to be a bit of a teaser as well too. Both teams clamouring for a final 8 spot. We know we're talking about here. It's at Metricon Stadium, the traditional home of these two teams. Essendon versus GWS. In for Essendon is David Zed for Zacharakis. Dylan Shield, he's back. The best hair in the AFL and the smoothest face as well. And Nick Bryan is in out, none at this particular stage. GWS, wow, have they made a massive statement here? Jake Riccardi in, James Peatling in, Lockie Ashes in, Lockie Whitfield in, Shane Munford in, out, Jeremy Finlayson omitted, and Matt Flynn injured. Well, my friend, I think Essendon are going to take this. I don't trust GWS. Who do I trust out of these two teams? I trust Essendon. The package has been signed up for another 3 years. Geez, didn't he scam Essendon? He's played one good season of football in how many years has he been there now? 4?
I'll be kind to him.
Must be contract season. Must be contract season.
He's
sucked him in, Essendon. Sucked in. He's going to go missing now. You watch. You watch. You won't do a thing this weekend.
Hey, Peps, for you and I, though, and everyone playing at home, the real interest here is Ray Chamberlain is the umpire for this game.
Oh, and?
I'm just saying, Razor Ray, Sunday night. Lock it in,
hey,
ladies.
By the way, hello, ladies. You must be this tall to get on the rides or the Razor. Hey, and I have to get the umpire's name. He's umpiring his 450th game this weekend. That is massive. Imagine how much abuse he would have got in 450 games.
Just thick skin.
Thick skin. Umpires don't have a lot of hair. You would have been a good umpire.
Hey, I'm a good midfielder.
Oh, that's what they always say.
Juddy, Ablett.
Brett Roseberry's playing his 450th game as an umpire. So good luck to you, big fella. I hope the ball bounces straight for your first one. And no, give it back to me, boys. I'll toss it up. Rightio, there is round 19. We've got four rounds of footy to go. After this one, 5 games in total. Look, some teams are preparing for their Kentucky tour within 5 kilometres of their home. Some teams are getting ready for finals. But once again, we don't know who's going to win.
That.
What's that?
End of season footy trips. What the hell are people going to do this year?
5Ks.
All right, boys.
5Ks.
Zoom session.
That's it.
Sit in your lounge room with your wife watching you, angrily staring at you across the room.
Oh, yeah. That's it. No. So it's going to be a big weekend of footy. Like I said, for everybody doing it tough through COVID, we're here with you. We're going through it with you as well too. So hopefully we've brought a bit of a smile to your face. And hopefully our tips get you a winner at the weekend, whether it's in your footy tipping at home, work, family. Hey, even if you want to put your mortgage on it, go for it. But just don't blame us because we want you to gamble responsibly. But all the best, J-Dog. Thank you very much for a massive week. We'll see you again Tuesday night for a recap of a massive round of football. But Jamie Wallis, the man of the moment, it's simply, how do you want your footy tips each and every single week?
Tipped out, Peps. Tipped out.
That's how we like it. Have a good luck to your team and good luck to your family.
See you, listeners.
Cheers.